What sorts of reactions from parents and other adults can have negative or positive impacts on self-harm situations?
It's different from each situation. No one can ever tell what sort of self-harm or situation you're gonna be in. There's a fine line of being at a point where you have to get hands-on and where you don't. For me, my mom and dad reaching for the object, I would just react in anger, and it would just make the situation worse. I can remember one time that I had a knife, mum lunged, and I moved it back, and she got cut on her thumb. I felt terrible, but then, police officers sat us down and said, if he's gonna hurt himself, you gotta let him hurt himself. If you can't look after yourself, you can't look after us as young people. In those sort of situations, you can only react. The way you react was made the biggest difference. Like when you're self harming, you don't want that situation more emotional. Usually, getting hands on never helps any situation at any point. I know for me, some situations were worse because I had that interaction and then, feel more escalated having to do those sort of things, knowing that the police and ambulance are coming, knowing that I'm going to have to get sent to hospital doesn't make the situation better. I think for me, just talking more sense, it was like, mum's like, well, you've done this now. You've got another 12 hours ahead of you in ED. You're going to be put on an EA. Do you really want to be hurting yourself more where you have to wait longer to get more medical treatment? Those sort of situations, it definitely helps because then I'm like, yeah, well, I don't want to have to get stitches or I don't have to wait longer to see the surgeons or whatever else. You just go in, you admit you've had a mistake, and obviously, when you need to be in hospital, you need to be in hospital. But in my experience, it was 9 times out of 10, you just get sent home. And then for me, I was going in and out anywhere from like a couple times a day to a couple times a week. And it was hard for my
Mhm.
parents because, again, I had two younger siblings. Mom and dad were both working jobs. And 12 hours in ED, maybe 3 times a week, is not possible for any parent or family. Sort of realizing those situations where do I want to make it worse? Do I want to get angry and fight police to fight the ambulance? But do you want to make this easier on yourself? Do you want to be held down? Or do you just want to sit on the stretcher and go? It's up to you at this point because we know they're coming. And that was the biggest thing. Is you can't uncall them once you call them. Being calm in that situation to be able to be rational and explain it to us like that is the biggest thing. As young people, we're going to be in fight or flight. And for me, it was mostly fight. I was never in flight. Reaction with reaction only creates explosion. And that was the biggest thing I realized. So I know for my dad, he couldn't control his anger too well. So the police had told him to go walk down the driveway and wait down there. And he just had to do that because he knew he had to remove himself from that situation because he couldn't handle that. And that's a big thing too, is as parents, you got to be able to say, I can't do this. And you have to be able to remove yourself. And it's hard. And you don't want to, but you kind of have to. If you can't look after yourself, you can't look after us.